Good morning, everyone. It's about 10 o'clock, well, 10:17 according to the clock on the old Springfield here. Man, it was just too nice to get up and do anything early. It's unbelievable how quiet this campground is. I mean, this place is full, and up until about half an hour ago, the only thing you could hear was the birds. It's just awesome. Just awesome. What a neat place. So this morning, I'm going to head back up to that overlook where I went the last show. And I was up there yesterday. It was pretty smoky. This morning's not near as smoky, so I'm hoping to get a little better view of all the mountains and stuff, and get some pictures of that. Kind of compare the two. And there's a visitor center up there I wanted to check out, see what they had, see what they were about. And then we're going to head over to a town called Atlantic City. It's an old mining town. It's about an hour and a half ride from here, I think, somewhere around that general area. It's basically kind of a ghost town, but they got a restaurant and a couple old stores and stuff I want to kind of check out, and just kind of mill around and see what's going on. You know, I've never really explored this area before, so we're gonna go see what we can find. Got down to about 35 up down here last night, I think. Had dew on the table, but no frost, so it wasn't freezing, which was good. I stayed warm last night, wasn't too cold. Kind of down in a little area where I'm protected from the wind. There was a little breezy at times last night. The old Springfield don't want to shift too good. The oil's a little thick this morning. And as you can see from the opener there, it didn't want to start either. But yeah, it's always that way. This oil thickens up, and when it's really cold in the mornings, it just doesn't feel like turning over real good. So that's okay. It starts though. That's all that matters. Well, I will catch back up with you guys once we get back on the road here. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Well, folks, we made it back up to the overlook here. What a difference a day makes. Oh my gosh. Now that the smoke has gone out, you can really see the mountains. This is awesome. What an awesome day. Wow, you can see the lake down here. Not sure how good that's picking up on the GoPro, but it's a pretty cool lake down there too. Couldn't even hardly see that yesterday. Well, I think what we're going to do now is we'll head back down to Pinedale, get some fuel, and then run on out to Atlantic City and probably get some lunch out there. And there might be a spot here down the road. I'll stop and just take a picture, quick video or something, overlooking the valley down there. I saw that on the way up here. It looked pretty neat. And instead of the hike, I went for a little walk this morning, and my feet didn't like my boots, so I don't think I'm going to do any hiking today. But I was talking to the lady at the information center there, and she pointed out a road to me that I might go check out either this afternoon or maybe tomorrow, so on the way back home. So anyway, let's head on down to Atlantic City, see what that has to offer. So we made it to an overlook that I saw on the way up. And the lady at the visitor center there that I went to, she said that that lake I'm staying at's actually a natural lake. I wasn't sure if it was a reservoir or a lake, but she said it was a lake. And here's a view from above. It is definitely a good sized lake. Trying to think. You can see I'm staying down there on the left hand side. You really can't see the campground there, but down in there is where I'm staying. But man, look at all these other lakes right here. Got that little lake there. There's actually a little lake right over in here. Not sure if the GoPro's picking it up in the middle of that little mountain, that little saddle. And there's another lake down there with houses around it. You can see this big valley here. That's the valley we came down yesterday. Came down that valley into Pinedale, which is basically right at the end of the lake down there. Very cool. Very cool. Well, can't remember if I told you why I came to this place instead of where I was going to go. I was going to go up into Montana again, but it was too smoky from all the fires. So I'm glad I've decided to come here, because this is a real treat. All right, well, now we can hit Atlantic City, maybe, unless I find something else cool. So we'll get back on the road, and we'll talk to you here in a minute. Well, welcome back. That was a lot of long straight roads, and I know you guys can't really tell, but it isn't very warm out here. It's only like 56 degrees, and running those 70-mile-an-hour straight roads, a little chilly, especially since just 2 days ago it was 90. So not quite climatized to this cooler weather. Well, we found the road to Atlantic City. There, I was kind of wondering there for a minute. I just turned off on a road with no sign, but I just saw a mileage sign that said it was just a couple miles down here. So we're going to cruise on down here and get something to eat. It's almost 2 o'clock, and I'm pretty hungry. Saw some dual sport guys, adventure bike guys, just passed me going the other way. So I know this is a big adventure bike town where a lot of guys go and eat. I think the Continental Divide Trail might come through here. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, but it might. And but yeah, I know a lot of adventure bike guys I follow on YouTube will stop in this town, and I'm pretty sure some of the hiker guys I follow too that do the Continental Divide Trail, and bicycle guys stop in here too. So anyway, so we're gonna cruise on down here and get something to eat. I'll come back to you when we get to town. Well, I think we're here. Wasn't too many minutes after I quit talking to you that we showed up here. So one There was one thing I wanted to mention to you as we roll into town here. There was a lot of Oregon Trail stuff, I think. Pretty sure that's what trail it is. On the way in here, 3 or 4 pullouts on the side of the road, so we'll probably hit those on the way back and see what those are about. I think this is the main part of town where they have their little mercantile store and the little restaurant, I think. I'm not sure. We'll see when we pull in here. Yep, this looks like the spot. Looks like they got something going on here today. The restaurant's up around the corner. Oh no, there's just Miner's Grub Steak. I better turn around. I can go in there and get something to eat. Not a lot of parking today, it don't look like. Hopefully I can find a flat spot up there someplace. Looks like it showed up just in time for the rush. Just big enough for a bike. Well, we went and had some lunch over at the Grub Steak. I think it was Miner's Grub Steak. Not too bad. Basically a bar with where you can get a burger or whatever. Typical bar food. It's about all there really is in this town. There's actually another bar next door. And I guess pretty much the same thing. I walked into it. I thought it was more of a little store or something, but no, it was just another bar. So we'll make our way back out of here and start making our way back, because it's 3 o'clock already and it's going to be almost 2 hours before I get back to camp. So get some relaxing in before it gets dark and time to go to bed. I know there's I think it's called South Pass City. That's what it's called. There's a little, like a state park ghost town kind of thing, I think, down the road a little bit. But I'm not gonna go there today. Promised the wife that I wouldn't visit any more ghost towns without first. So we'll plan on a trip coming back up here with her someday. We'll go visit the ghost town. It's gonna probably have to camp in this area to really get to enjoy it, because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Definitely long ways from anywhere. I think Lander, Wyoming's fairly close, but that's also a long way from where I live. So anyway, we'll stop at some of those Oregon Trail signs along the way. And also, I did get to talk to a guy that was walking the Continental Divide Trail, and he says it's only like a half a mile or so just from town here, and that's why a lot of people stop into that bar right there and get something to eat, get a drink, bum a ride down into Lander. That's what he was doing. So that was kind of cool, listening to his adventures and you know, how his trail was, or how his trip was going. So yeah, it takes a lot of dedication to be able to get up and walk that much every day. Crazy. Anyway, we'll talk back with you here in just a few minutes. Alright, well, so we stopped at our first point of interest, I guess, for the Oregon Trail. I was just reading this, and kind of explains everything about how the Lander cutoff is what we're on. Went up and cut off 7 days of travel and things like that. But the thing that really surprised me was that it said the immigrants used it into the 20th century, which kind of blows me away. That's crazy. Man, I thought that was long gone. They said that, you know, the Transcontinental Railroad, you know, pretty much shut down the Oregon Trail, but to read here that people were using it up to the 20th century, that's pretty crazy. So, well, I'm glad we did it backwards, because this explains what's going on, and we can hit the rest of them as we go on up the road. So, anyway, you guys want to look at that, just back that up and pause it. That's a pretty interesting little story. Just, man, there's a ton of nothing out here. Crazy stuff. Alright, we'll see you at the next one. Well, here we are at the next historical site, I guess. It has a bunch of signs laid out talking about the South Pass. And I'm guessing that's it over that direction. Not really sure. But it talks about how it was discovered in 1812, and John C. Fremont led some people over here in 1832, and is actually the guy that was accredited to really making it a way for the migrants to head east. And then these signs, they talk about the people that died along the trail and everything. Man, you just look out across these plains, these valleys, across this sagebrush, and what a sight it must have been to see thousands of wagons coming across the desert here. And just the sound of it all, the rattling of the wagons and whistling and cracking of whips and all that kind of stuff. It's just pretty crazy stuff. I'm not sure if this road here is part of it, but you know, you can kind of imagine it is. See how it just goes across the desert over there, and it's fairly wide, which kind of makes me think that it might have been part of the original Oregon Trail. You know, you really wouldn't see any kind of road this wide out here in the desert for no apparent reason. I mean, you see roads like this, you know, for gas lines and stuff like that, but they have markers for them, and I really don't see any markers, so kind of makes me wonder if this was part of the original trail here. Crazy stuff. I can't imagine the you know, all the problems and how hard it was to pick your family up and just move across the country and just, you know, make 10 miles a day across this area. It just seemed like it would never end almost. Anyway, let's head on down to the next one and see what we got. So here we are at the next one. And this fence has me wondering if the Oregon Trail isn't between this here someplace. The way they've got it fenced off on two sides. But here's a plaque that they placed for in memory of those who passed away to win and hold the West. Plaque placed by the Historical Landmark Commission of Wyoming, 1950. So this one's been here a while, as you can tell. Pretty weathered. And there's actually another one down here just at the end of this little drive, so let's jump on the bike and go down and look and see what that one says. Yeah, this one's pretty elaborate down here. Parting of the ways, it says. I'll go ahead and just hold this still, and you can pause this for a minute if you want to read it. And if you didn't want to pause that, it just talks about how the trails separated here, and one was shorter but went farther without water, and the other one went the other way. So I'm guessing, I don't know, it's weird why they have it fenced off like that. So this one says parting of the ways. I'll go ahead and pause it right here and you guys can read it. There's another sign that basically explains a lot of the same thing. Kind of talks about more of the numbers of people that came through here. You can go ahead and pause this here if you want to read this one. So we'll walk down here and see if you can actually see, because it kind of looks like there's a trail off to the right and one straight ahead. So see what it really says down here. So it definitely looks like there's two trails heading two different directions right here. And if you look real close right here in the middle, there's a post right there, which is kind of weird because I don't see any other posts anywhere along there, but it's kind of interesting. It's kind of a neat deal to be standing here in this place where, what, 100 and something years ago, that a lot of people came through here and are out to build new lives for themselves. Pretty crazy. And now, you know, we have a highway going by and people just cruising by and they're none the wiser what actually happened here 100 and something years ago. This really makes you wonder what kind of life that was back then. Well, let's head on back to the bike. Man, I could just kind of stand here all day and just ponder that thought. Sure do like it when I can just come out and don't really have any schedules, don't really have any plans, and just kind of let the day take me where it does. kind of cleanses the soul and really makes you think about life a little bit. All right, well, let's get back on the bike and head down, and I don't know if there's any more or not. If there is, we'll stop. If not, probably talk to you back at camp. We'll see you in a little bit. Well, folks, we made it back to camp. Been a long day. We left this morning at 10 o'clock. I think it's like 5:30 right now. Got about an hour of sunshine left. So probably just going to kick back here at camp and just enjoy the peace and quiet. Like I said earlier today, I never stayed at a campground that was as quiet as this one is. So I hope you enjoyed the day. It was cool going out and seeing where all those people rode those wagon trains across the sagebrush plains there. It just amazes me how tough those people were and how driven they were to travel like that. Just amazing. I guess it just goes to show that American wasn't built by quitters. So, well, you guys take care, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. We got a place that we were told to go because it was really pretty. So, we'll take you up there tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye.